Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome to the stage Mr. Grant Heslov, John Goodman, Bill Murray, George Clooney, Matt Damon, Bob Balaban, Dimitri Leonidas, Harry Ettlinger, and Jean Dujardin. Thank you so much.
We are all friends. We all get along. It was a really wonderful time and wonderful shoot, but we didn't lose sight of the idea that we were talking about fairly important issues along the way, too, and so that everybody handled it, I think, with the proper care. It wasn't just that Hitler was trying to kill everyone and to take their land. He was also trying to destroy their culture and say that they didn't exist. To me, that is the most important part of what these men did. They did amazing work. When you see Hitler burning Salvador Dali's and you see him burning Picasso's, he's telling you that this time period and this era and this group of men didn't exist. So to me, what was important about telling the story was also to say, is art worth dying for? I don't know if a single inanimate object is worth dying for, but if it means that you're going to try to erase my history and say that I never was here, then I think that's very much worth dying for. And I thought that was what these men were so brave in doing, and I thought that was an interesting story to tell.
We, human beings, need culture around us. Piece of art we have meant something to, I hope, all of you, just like that meant art to me, because it needs to be around us, to make life more meaningful, more enjoyable. We cannot live in a world with white walls.
I saw the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, and it was the story really that amazed me, was that people have worked on it and passed away, and then their sons have worked on it and passed away, and none of them have actually seen it finished because it's been they've been making it for over 200 years, and generations of family have worked on this building, and I thought that was quite amazing. Even
in England, the polling is in favor of returning the marbles from the Pantheon marbles.
It seems like it's a problem all over the world. Who owns this art? Where did it come from? Where it came from? Do they have the right to give it back? And I think, you know, it's had a very nice stay here, you know, certainly. But, you know, London's gotten crowded, and there's plenty of room back there in Greece, plenty of room. But England could take the lead on this kind of thing, of like, you know, letting art go back where it came from.
George and Grant wrote the script, and they were producing the movie. George was directing it and starring in it.
We weren't doing a documentary, and we didn't want to give any of these real men flaws that would be in any way upsetting to their families.
We always knew that we wanted to have humor in this piece. George and I grew up watching a lot of the war films of our youth, and these kind of guys dealt with this situation with humor, and we deal with life with humor. So we always knew that we wanted to have some funny tone, but we also knew that we were dealing with a subject that was very serious in nature. So there was a real balancing act that we did, and that really was the fun of making the piece, was trying to strike that balance and that tone. And then we cast all these guys, and they brought like another level of humor to it.
Everyone was very respectful towards each other. We appreciated each other. I was very grateful to be cast in this film. Because George did such careful preparation, it made each day easier and more fun.
C'est toujours Enfin, moi, c'était très différent. C'était un plaisir d'être avec tout le monde, évidemment, et d'avoir mes scènes avec John.
For me, it was very different. It was a pleasure to be with everybody, of course, and to have my scenes with John.
Parce que ce que j'aime bien avec John, c'est qu'on ne se dérange pas.
What I like about being with John is that we don't bother each other.
J'aime beaucoup. Non, mais j'aime beaucoup ses silences.
I love his silences.
Et j'en ai aussi moi-même beaucoup.
And I have a lot of them too.
I love you, John.
When you get in an ensemble like this and you're working like 2 days a week, it's really, really fun. And we all just kept reminding each other to smell the roses and appreciate the fact that we were in a really great movie with a director who was great and had everything under control.
He's one of the best directors I've ever worked with. That's the serious part. The other part is we really had fun. To me, good work happens when somebody knows what they're doing. This is George. Plans what they're doing.
Not Spielberg.
Works. Yeah. No.
That hack.
He's a really hard worker, and he makes it look easy because he kind of knows the secret because he's been an actor for a few months. He knows you have to be relaxed and happy when you're working, and it works. It's great.
It's actually much easier to be directed by a friend. Having written screenplays with friends, when you're partnering with somebody who's a friend of yours, you cut out all of the diplomacy, which really wastes a lot of time. There's a whole way to speak to each other on film sets or in the theater, and it's all about protecting people's egos and their feelings. But when you're working with your friend, they just say, that sucked. You know, and there's a baseline of trust, and that never comes into question, and you solve the problems a lot quicker. And so it makes it more fun because you're getting stuff done faster, you're feeling good about what you're doing, and you're having a good time because you're with your friends.
Matt showed up early when we were about to start shooting and said he wanted to lose a couple of pounds. He looked fine, but he said he wanted to lose a couple of pounds.
So stupid of me.
You should never have told me that. And every time he would go away, I would have the wardrobe girl just take in his uniform just like a half an inch. And he was eating like a grape. And then his pants were getting tighter. And I never actually discussed it with him. I found out only a few days ago that it really disturbed you.
Yeah, and I never said anything because I thought I was being professional and trying to lose weight, and it wasn't working.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's where we're going to have to wrap it today. Would you show some kindness to our lovely guests today?
Thank you.